Guys, it's your girl Okwe. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about some reality shows such as The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, The Real Housewives of Potomac, and Married to Medicine. So if that's your vibe, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And if you're new here, hey, welcome to the channel. I hope you stay and I hope you enjoy what you watch. And yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this review. So we're going to start off with Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm not going to go in chronological order of what happened, how this happened, and all that. I'm just going to talk about key points that I picked up and I felt like I needed to shed more light on, or like shed my opinion on. So, yeah. The pile on Angel. So, in the episode, Angel is treated very badly. Like from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode, like the ladies were just shunning her. It was actually very uncomfortable to watch, and I didn't really like it. Granted, yes, they didn't have good accommodation in her hosting trip and all that, and we're going to get into that as well, because we find out that apparently production was the one that was even in charge of this accommodation. Production is the one that put them in this accommodation, so all this brunt for Angel during this trip just doesn't make sense to us the viewers anymore, because we found out now that production actually is the one that set up the ladies, not Angel. But you know what? Angel, being the gracious person that she is, of course, we're filming a reality TV show. So, at the end of the day, it's my trip. So technically, the blame is going to shift on me, type of thing. Even when she shows up at the private jet and the ladies are not, happy to see her, immediately she's trying to apologize. They're not hearing it. Giselle is just shutting her down like any chance she gets. Like Angel cannot get a word in. Angel cannot get her apology in. And I'm just like, geez, is it that serious that you can't even let this chick apologize? Let her apologize at least. Okay, even if you won't accept the apology, give her the opportunity to speak on it and take accountability for it, because at the end of the day, if she didn't take accountability for it, still that would still be an issue. I just feel like Giselle is just finding any reason to hate on Angel. Even if it wasn't this accommodation situation, if it was it would have been something else with Giselle, is what I feel. And it just really felt very mean girl-ish. I was very surprised also by Wendy and Stacy piling on as well, because I'm like, when did you guys bond with Giselle and all those type of things? Granted, yes, okay, the accommodations were bad, correct, but you people have been in the brunt of this whole Giselle shunning you type of thing, especially you, Wendy. Like for seasons, Giselle did not even look your way, and the fact that you are joining her in this moment to pile on this lady that is trying to take accountability for her actions, the planning of this trip, I just found it very weird that you were not even giving her the chance, and you two were joining the bandwagon to be a mean girl as well. Definitely not a good look for you. Definitely not. And even what's her name? Angel even was even trying to say like, okay, yes, while you guys were even in my place, like the day before, I already knew about this issue and I already called the homeowners and they had already sent a plumber to check the water pressure or whatever it was. So I thought everything was okay. And today, finding out that things were not okay, I just jumped into, okay, solving mode, solution mode. How can I rectify this situation? But the ladies just were not giving her the chance to speak, the chance to explain herself. They were just set in their own mindsets. Fine, understandably so, because you've not showered, I get it. But I just feel like if somebody is humbly coming to you, owning that they were wrong, even though low-key they were not, because we know that she wasn't the one behind the accommodation. But fine, we're filming a reality TV show. We're not supposed to think that production is involved, which even though is unrealistic, but whatever. She's still coming to own up. She's still coming to apologize, and she's still like, okay, I'm going to start looking for a new accommodation for you guys. And Giselle is just immediately like, nope, I've already found somewhere. We're going to the Four Seasons. This is this, that, kind of trying to hijack the trip. And I'm just like, no, now you guys are actually crossing a line, and is now not just gearing towards, oh, okay, we didn't like our accommodation. It's really now beginning to look like, okay, we want to take down this girl, we want to humiliate her and all that. And I just didn't like that. Let me know what you guys think about that. Giselle calling the Airbnb the projects. I was very That was very irritating for me, for Giselle to say, because a few seasons ago I remember that Giselle invited them to her incompleted house that she was doing that time, and she had an event and she didn't even allow Wendy, because they were in the out then to use her toilet. That is a basic necessity of a human being, to pee or poop, and you denied her access to your house for that. So, my opinion, your house was given project as well during that season. So you shouldn't be the one calling anything a project. That house gave nothing like the project. That was a beautiful house. It's just unfortunate that appliances and amenities in the house were not working well. That looked like a very nice house that, if without all the issues that the ladies encountered, would have been a really nice Airbnb to stay. So I don't like how Giselle is. I just feel like she's just going below the belt, like she's putting 20 on 10, and it's just again coming off as mean girlish. Your house gave the projects last a few seasons ago, so let's not even do that. Let's not even do that. Aside from the whole accommodation issue, Angel's trip has given luxury so far. So I don't understand why you're bashing this lady like this, like as if everything about this trip has been horrible. It is just the accommodation situation. And granted, so yes, that was pretty bad and everything, but I don't think it was project level like Giselle was trying to make it look like or make it seem. But let me know what you guys think. The ladies say that Angel needs to be more honest and vulnerable with the girls. How can you expect somebody that just received whiplashes of words a few minutes ago, got berated and everything, wasn't allowed to speak, wasn't allowed to take accountability for her actions, wasn't allowed to say anything? Now, in the next scene where you guys have, like maybe an hour later, you guys have gotten somewhere else and you expect that person to now be vulnerable with you. Am I in the twilight zone? You guys have made this lady refrain and go back into her shell. So how do you expect her now to be sharing things with you when every time she has tried to like say anything to you guys on this trip, she has been shut down, she has been insulted and all that? What do you expect Angel to do? Her like going back into her shell is a very normal human thing to do, especially when a group of ladies are pouncing on you. I don't understand. And I know some people were saying that, oh, Tia and Kiana didn't stand up for her. I feel like Kiana did. Like Kiana was trying to stand up for her friend and she kept being shut down even by Giselle. So I wouldn't say that Kiana didn't stand up for her. I would say Kiana actually did. Tia, I feel like was a bit silent. Tia definitely didn't speak up for Angel more. She spoke up more for her in her confessionals. And I just wish that in that moment she said something to support Angel, to show that okay, Angel wasn't just sleeping comfortably in her bed, not worrying about you ladies. Yes, she could have reached out to you guys, and yes, we even that were in her house could have reached out to you guys to check how you guys were doing. But Angel wasn't just sitting down here when she found out that things were not working in your accommodation. She was up on her feet since morning trying to figure out the solution. I wish that they tried to say this, or at least I wish Tia even attempted to, because I guess even if she tried to do it, she would have still been shut down. But I just wish she tried at the end of the day, because you are Angel's friend. After the whole conversation of the ladies saying that they don't feel like Angel is being honest with them, vulnerable about her relationship, whatever. And again, they want her to also be vulnerable about her relationship. How can she be vulnerable about her relationship when every time you guys see Bobby or hear anything about Bobby or she says anything about Bobby, you're very quick to judge. Monique is very quick to try to connect dots that are not there. Giselle is very quick to try to connect dots that are not there. Ashley is very quick to say, oh, he's aggressive. Bobby is aggressive. Bobby is this. Bobby is that. I'm just like, the girl cannot win. If Angel breathes, is a problem. If Angel holds her breath, is a problem. Like, she just cannot win with these ladies. At the end of the day, after the conversation, Angel is overwhelmed. Clearly, she starts to cry. Some of the ladies are comforting her. I think it's Jazzy, um, Ashley, and Monique trying to comfort her, and then Giselle just comes and is like, "Oh, you guys, like, we have to go," type of thing. And I'm just like, "Damn, girl, the chick cannot even take a minute to get herself together after this emotional roller coaster that you guys are putting her through. Like, can she get 5 minutes?" To cry a little bit and to shed tears and be vulnerable, the vulnerability that you guys are asking for. She's literally crying there, and you're like, "Oh, we have other things to do. It's giving, we have other things to do. Let's begin to go." I don't know. Like, I try to give Giselle the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but Giselle just really acts very mean spirited. Like, she's a very mean spirited person and a very dark person. Like, I just felt that that was a bit strange. You could have at least been a bit more sympathetic, even though yes, you had your issues with her or whatever, which don't make sense to me. But In that moment, you saw her crying. You could have been a bit nicer, but I just didn't like how she was very, yeah, babe, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It just was very weird to me. Something I forgot to say also was before they left the brunch place that they were in, and before Angel was crying and everything, they were talking, I don't know what they were talking about, but like Jassy got upset and was now like attacking Tia in a way like, oh, you just happen to be in Angel's house by default. I was the one that was supposed to be there. I'm closer to her. This. I was like, where did this energy come from? Like, Jazzy, what is going on? Like, are you mentally stable? It was giving not really good up there. I didn't understand what that interaction was. And even all the ladies were like, whoa, like, what's happening right now? Like, do you and Tia have beef that we do not know about? And even Tia was like, whoa, why are you coming at me like this? I just found it very strange. I don't know if she was drunk in that moment, but it was definitely a very weird reaction. Yeah, it was very weird. Let me know what you guys think about that. But shall the ladies end up going to Kemosabi or whatever it's called, this famous hat place in Aspen that a lot of rich people go to? And while they're there, they see Mauricio and he comes to say hi to them, and Ashley is all over Mauricio. Like, we have Stacy trying to hook Ashley up, like, go shoot your shot, go shoot your shot. Ashley's like, oh, I mean, he's a cute looking guy, but like, again, Kyle, but like, he's a cute looking guy. And Stacy is like, don't let your friend hinder you from your basically, don't let your friend hinder you from your love connection type of thing. Giselle is over there like side eyeing Ashley, like, Kyle is literally like our co-worker. You can't be eyeing her ex or whatever it is. I heard that they are not actually divorced, they are just separated, but whatever it is, you can't be eyeing the former partner of your co-worker. I'm just like, wow, this is a lot of morals, like moral. I didn't know that what's her name, Giselle, had such morals, high morals, and knew where to draw the line with people, because she had a lot to say in this episode about how it would be very wrong for Ashley to make a move on Mauricio. But we didn't hear this type of stance in the moment or even in the confessional when Ashley brought it to the camera and told us, the viewers, that she slept with Jackson, Sharice's son, your direct co worker's son. You were mute in that moment. So I find it very interesting that all of a sudden now your moral values are up and you're like, nope, this is these should be uncharted territories, boundaries, blah blah blah. Is it because maybe you have feelings for Mauricio and you don't want your homegirl to shoot her shot? Because that was something else I was seeing online, that people were saying that, oh, Giselle, the way she was looking at Mauricio, it looked like she wanted a piece of that as well. So I was like, oh, that makes sense then if that's what the case was. So whatever the case was, I just found it interesting that she had a lot to say in this moment, but in the whole Sharice Jackson thing, she had nothing to say. She was mute. She didn't want no parts of it. And I'm just like, okay, I guess the line is always moving, or whenever it suits you, that's when your moral values like automatically reappear again. But yeah, I guess the ladies at the end of the episode, they get some things from the hat shop, and they now start to like tell us the things that they bought and the price tag of the things that they bought. And I just found that very corny and tacky, because first of all, no housewife does that. Yes, sometimes when the ladies go shopping, production would like just display the price of things casually on the screen. The ladies wouldn't have to tell us how much it was that the thing that they are buying are. But in this situation, the ladies literally, each and every one of them, went around telling us the price range of the things that they bought, and come to find out Stacy didn't get anything. In my mind, immediately, I just knew why. I was like, okay, this was definitely targeted, in my opinion. They've never done this before. The ladies of Potomac never spend a coin. Okay, they never spend a coin. They are very frugal with their spending, especially when they are filming. Maybe they spend behind the scenes, but when they are filming like this, those ladies never spend like the girls of Beverly Hills and all that. So I found it very interesting that all of a sudden now everybody is sharing how much this was bought, how much that was bought, how much this was bought, showing off and flexing, and then Stacey didn't buy anything. I think it was supposed to be intended to um embarrass Stacey in a way, but I just feel like it backfired, because Stacey owned it like, hey, I'm rich, but I ain't rich like that, you know. I'm saving these coins and everything. We are very good here, but you know, we don't do all that. We don't overspend and everything. I know my own limit. And I was like, period. I love somebody that is that in that case, Stacy definitely won me over because I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to front for you ladies. I'm not going to do what I am not in front of you ladies, or like act like what I am not in front of you, or try to like match up with you guys or show off with you guys and all that. At the end of the day, if I want something, I'm going to get it. If I'm not going to feel like I have to get anything just because I'm with this group of ladies. And I love that she wasn't easily influenced or didn't feel a type of way and was just being real, you know. So, and that's honestly what we sometimes want in these shows. Like, yes, these are shows for affluence and everything, but this is also a show to be yourself, to be real. So I just felt like that was a real moment from Stacey, and whatever it was, whatever the intentions were behind them trying to like show the price range of the things that they bought. Hopefully, it isn't what I am thinking, but I'm pretty sure it's what I'm thinking because it was very suspicious. They have never done something like that before. So, if that was the case, it definitely backfired on them, and it just made the viewers even like Stacey even more. I mean, I like Stacey, but the whole lying thing, I'm just not down with it. Like, I know people are like, oh, she's quirky, oh, she's funny, oh, she's this, oh, she's that. Yeah, you can be quirky, you can be funny, you can be this, you can be that, but you are still a liar at the end of the day, and I do not like liars. So Stacey definitely needs to work on her lying skills or her lying in general, and you know, then I can have a proper relation, a proper view or stance with her. But this particular moment, I would say that she definitely, I was with her on this one. Like I definitely could relate to her, and I definitely like how she handled the situation. But in the end, Sha, like I said in the beginning, Giselle, they are about to like go back to Denver. Is it Denver that they're staying? Sha, somewhere in Colorado, because they flew to Aspen for the day, and now they're going back. They were going back to the city that they initially were staying in. And of course, Giselle is trying to run the trip. Giselle is trying to take over the trip. She's like, we're going back to our new hotel now, and tomorrow we're going to have breakfast or brunch or whatever it is and pack our things and go back home. And Angel is like, no, we have like a whole itinerary tomorrow. Like, that's not the plan. I'm the one that is leading this trip. And that's just where we end the episode. So we don't know what is to come if Giselle ends up, hijacking the trip for real, or if Angel is able to turn things around in her favor with this whole trip. It's just very sad that it's her first season and she's getting this much crap. I feel like a lot of the ladies have had their bad moments, especially with trips. We remember Ashley's chicken poop bingo trip. We remember Mia's Miami trip, terrible. We remember a lot of terrible trips, and the way that you would think that um Angel chopped somebody's head, during this trip, like she did some outrageous thing is really beyond me. Like a lot of you have had your moments. It took some of you seasons in Wendy, it took some of you seasons to find your footing in this group, find your grounding in this group. So I just feel like they're being very hard on Angel, and I'm just hoping that Angel is given a second season. First of all, Angel is ready and prepared and takes over the reunion. I'm hoping that she definitely carries that reunion and comes back with a vengeance and gathers all the ladies, especially Giselle, Ashley, and Wendy, and Monique. Yes, Monique, you're in there also because you're trying to allude to some things that were just questionable. And also is able to be offered a second season. I really hope that Angel is offered a second season. I feel like this was just her learning season, and we shouldn't just make her a one and done. I feel like she has the affluence, she has the status of the housewife criteria that we look for in these shows, and it would just be a huge injustice if they just cut her off in just this her first season or just based off this first season. But let's see how things go. All right, so we're moving to Married to Medicine. This episode felt like a filler episode, I can't lie. It was nice, like it was great, but I wouldn't say it was like very entertaining. But yeah, it's very clear that the group is divided. We have Angel, Quad, Mimi, and Jackie meeting, I think, in whose house? I think Angel's house. And then the other side, we see Heavenly, Toya, Contessa, Simone, and Brandy meeting up for drinks or something in a restaurant. And it's so obvious that there is a divide. Like, it's very, very obvious. Angel is telling them about, Toya's behavior in the family reunion, how Toya pretty much outed that she was in a relationship, outed that she was trying to be hooked up by, some of um Toya's male connections, within the medical industry, like any guys that she knows, how Toya outed her to the guy that she brought during the reunion, and how it was uncomfortable for her. And of course, the ladies that are with Angel, like, oh my god, that is just tacky Toya, typical Toya, this is this, da da da. The other hand, I can't even remember what the other group was discussing because that's pretty much the misery group. They were oh yeah, I think they were discussing the same situation, and even Contessa was like, "Whoa, like Toya, you actually told the dude that you were trying to hook her up with other guys," and then Toya is like, "Yes, like you're not gonna come and mess my own family. Everybody that I would hook up with you in the normal scenario is like family to me. So if you're not serious, pretty much like tell me you're not serious and let me not waste my time." And honestly, I see both sides. I can agree and say that, you know, Toya, that was not the right place or the right time to say that. If you felt that way, you should have told Angel about it maybe after the reunion, or pulled her aside and be like, "Girl, like I thought you said you wanted me to hook you up with someone," not in front of her actual guy that she brings to the event. And at the same time, I can also say that yes, you know, Toya is the one that's trying to hook her with someone. Toya was under the impression that Angel was looking for something serious. Angel was single, she wasn't seeing anybody in the moment. So I can understand in that sense, like, okay, you are thinking this person is looking for someone serious. So you are obviously thinking of connecting her with somebody that is serious as well. Maybe somebody that is a close family friend to you that you know that would take care of her well and everything. And you come to this event and you see that she's with somebody else, and in your mind you're like, wow, so she just wants to play. She's not ready for a real thing. She's not ready for a serious relationship. She's just wasting my time. I definitely get it on that stance as well. I just feel like Toya could have handled it differently. Her reasons and all that were valid. I just feel like it was the wrong place, wrong time. She should have definitely pulled Angel aside and said these things to her rather than say it in front of that guy and even be asking how Angel is in bed. Like, what? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with, okay, even you trying to connect me with somebody? That was so left field. Like, where did I even come from? So I just feel like Toya just doesn't know how to handle certain situations sometimes, and he ends up biting her in the butt, even though, okay, yes, her reasoning is makes sense. Like, the things that she's saying are valid, but like the way that she says it and the manner at which she communicates it sometimes ends up being tacky and just not handled properly. But yeah, that happens, and then we then get a scene of Dr. Heavenly in her first rally event. It's in a parking lot. It's pretty intimate. Not a lot of people and everything. So the ladies come and are trying to support her, except for one person, of course, Toya. Toya just is saying things under her breath about what's her name, about Dr. Heavenly, or about the things that Heavenly is saying. We, the viewers, didn't get everything that Heavenly said in that rally. We only got the highlights of things that were said, and in my opinion, the things that were said were not too bad. But I guess from my understanding, from things that Toya and Brandy were saying, it seems like it was just a whole lot of word vomit. It's like, okay, you haven't really said anything that would make me want to vote for you or support you or and all that. But I just feel like at the end of the day, she's your friend. You should support her regardless. But I guess they have different views. Toya's view, I feel like, may not be for the right reasons. But Brandy seems like she may be into politics, so she maybe wants more. She wants Heavenly to show her more before she can fully say, okay, I'm 100% supporting you and all that. Mimi confronts Brandy at the rally, after the rally event, and tells her to be careful whose side that she is on. Now, I love me some Dr. Mimi. I love Mimi, And I think she was right to warn Brandy about Toya, because is it not the same Toya a few episodes ago that was shitting on you in her party, talking about, oh, you and the other ladies were talking bad things about her relationship, blah blah blah, when you had nothing to say about it. You didn't say anything bad. Like, she just um piled you in with the group of ladies that she didn't like so quickly and was shitting on you so quickly, and you're literally supposed to be a friend that she brought into the group. So yes, definitely Toya was wrong in that situation, and Mimi was fair points brought up fair points in this situation, telling Brandy to be careful on which side that she's on. But Brandy takes offense to this, obviously, and it just like kind of ends sour between Mimi and Brandy. I think also we find out that Quad is the campaign manager for Heavenly, and the ladies are like, oh god, that even makes it more unserious to me, blah blah blah. But I just feel like if Quad can do the thing that Heavenly needs her to do as a campaign manager, or she's qualified as a campaign manager, what is the issue? Like, that shouldn't take away anything from Heavenly's campaign. Like, if she's able to do the work and she's ready to put in the work and Heavenly trusts her, who are you guys to shit on it? And plus, Quad hasn't really given you any reason to like say, oh, she's not qualified for this role. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about Heavenly's rally. Honestly, I don't really care. If she is in it for the right reasons, I hope that she has a successful campaign, and hopefully a term, or whatever post that she's running for, and hopefully all the ladies support her. I think Simone even came late as well, but while she was not there, Toya was sending her notes and, like, of course, shady notes about what was going on in the rally. And of course, Simone was just like laughing when she came there. She was gossiping as well with Toya. She also doesn't seem convinced as well with Heavenly's reasons of randomly now wanting to run for a seat in politics, but she's there to support regardless. In the next scene, we see Simone and Jackie basically talking about Simone's marriage, and Jackie is, I think, trying to encourage her to like still see the bright side, still work things out, blah blah blah. But I just feel like I understand that this group particularly is one that tries its best not to separate, like, to destroy marriages. They're very big on showing up for their friends, especially in terms of like couples in the group, like making sure that they don't break up, making sure that they try and work things out before just completely separating and all that. Even with Quad, I think they tried their best to like talk Quad out of divorcing Dr. Greg, and thankfully Quad didn't listen to them, because it seemed like a lot was happening in that house that was just very toxic, and both of them were just not compatible. And they did the same thing a few seasons ago, even with Simone, when Simone was ready to walk out of the marriage, and they rallied together, like try to encourage Simone, try to encourage Cecil, try to talk to Cecil, like to make changes, for his relationship to work. So that is something that Married to Medicine has always been able to do: show up for their friends, especially maritally, and be there for them, and try to like bring them back together when they feel like they've gone astray and all that. And I personally feel like in this Simone and Cecil's case, that maybe it is best for Simone to separate. Like, we've seen Simone miserable for seasons. Like, okay, yes, they worked out their differences in that season that they were like, that Simone separated from him and was filing for divorce. They were able to move past that and work things out. But it just seems like there have always been continuous issues in that relationship that have just not been resolved, particularly with the children and finances and all that. And if something is not being resolved continuously, like we're always hearing about this, hearing about this, hearing about this, definitely it means that the person or whoever it is in the relationship is not willing to change. So at that point, maybe it's best for them to separate. And Simone doesn't look happy in this relationship anymore. Like, Simone looks hot, Simone looks upset all the time, like Simone looks mad, angry. Like, I just think that the relationship is doing her more harm than good at this point, and maybe it would be best for her to separate. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if when we get to the reunion, we hear again that she separated, because we've just been hearing this whole thing of her and Cecil since like for years now. Like, they've not been able to get to a point where in a season we don't hear anything about their marital issues. And honestly, I'm over it. I'm tired of the ladies trying to encourage her not to leave, because sometimes maybe you do need to leave. Maybe sometimes you do need to leave for your own happiness. And I just want to see Simone happy, because she works so bloody hard, and it seems like she feels like she doesn't have enough to show for it. She feels like she's just always in a rabbit hole. Like her kids are draining her husband is draining her, and there's just no peace for her. Nobody is looking out for her. And I just hope that she's able to figure it out, whatever that is, or whatever that means for her, whether that is, counseling, trying to figure things out with Cecil, maybe Cecil realizing that, oh shit, like I need to change these things, or I need to see things in her perspective and put my foot down for my concerning my children with her, and be on board with her with this children thing, or maybe both of them need to part their ways. Whatever the good thing is for them that would bring peace to their relationship and to their children and everything, let that, particularly for Simone. I feel like I'm more particular about Simone, because I feel like she has given a lot already to the lives of these three men, and with or without her they would survive. Simone needs to start looking out for herself, and I hope that whatever resolution or whatever decision she comes down to, let it be Simone, like first. She put herself first at the end of the day. So let's see how things play out with that. I know at some point in this season they're gonna go on a couples trip, so let's see how that goes. But the few things that have happened beginning of this season now with Simone and Cecil, especially that argument that they had, was just very uncomfortable to watch. It was very gut wrenching. You could hear the pain in Simone's voice. She just looked tired and drained by the whole thing. And I'm just hoping that she figures things out, and whatever it is that needs to happen happens, and that she finds peace and joy. That she finds peace and joy. So the ladies go to an event that Angel is throwing, which is the launch of her scrubs line called Angels on Heaven, or Heaven Angels, or something like that. Something shy Angels somewhere. Or Heaven's Angels. I think it's that, Heaven's Angels. Someone correct me what the name of her scrubs line is, but they looked really good. Like they looked very futuristic. They look very practical. They look very comfortable. They look very body shape friendly and all those type of things. So the ladies were there to support her. I think something I didn't mention was that before all this, Simone and Quad were already having like brewing issue, because Heavenly had told Quad about a conversation that Simone had with her, where it's like Simone basically told her that she was looking up the VIN number of I think it's her car that's what's his name, King, gifted her a few seasons ago, and that's immediately annoyed Quad, and understandably so. And also we know that Quad is someone that you know takes pride in the things that she has been able to achieve. Like now, when people were coming for her apartment that time, she was very upset by that. When people came for her house, she was very upset by that. So obviously, hearing that, oh, this person is trying to look up information about my car, and all that. Again, we know that that's gonna upset Quad, because that's just the kind of person that Quad is. Quad focuses on those type of materialistic things, and she doesn't like when people make it seem like she can't afford her lifestyle and all those type of things. So that was something that was already brewing between Simone and Quad. So during this Angels event, um, Quad confronts Simone, and then it becomes this whole big thing. They're screaming at each other, yelling at each other, like it's just crazy. And Simone now is upset because she knows that Heavenly is the one that told Quad this thing. So now she's yelling at Heavenly as well, and it's just a whole mess. Like I think Angel was at that point wanting to even kick them out, because it just turned into something crazy. Now, two things can be right. I understand Simone's frustration of like, I told Heavenly this thing in confidence, and Heavenly went back and told Quad, and now I can't trust Heavenly. But we also know that um, Toya knows about Heavenly kicking her kid out of the house, and the only person that she could have gotten that information from was Simone, because we know for sure that Jackie does not speak to Toya like that, like they're not close. And we know that in the beginning of this season, Heavenly actually had a vulnerable moment with Simone when Simone was telling her about her marital issues at the moment. Heavenly told her about the fact that she kicked her son out of the house. So the only person that that information could have come from, that Toya would have known it from, is Simone. So if you are upset with, you can't be upset with Heavenly for now sharing this information to Quad when you did the exact same thing with her when she confided to you about her son's issue. So I just feel like, yeah, I know tit for tat is not good, but at the end of, and maybe that's even why um Heavenly told Quad, because maybe she knew that Simone also has been telling her business to Toya, because I think when that whole bag event happened, that oh no, when that whole family reunion thing happened, that Toya was low key like egging Heavenly on and was like, "Oh, where's your other son?" type of thing. I think that was before before Heavenly told before Heavenly told Quad about the VIN number situation. If my memory is correct, I think that's the order of things. So I can see Heavenly being messy and be like, "Oh, so you told so you told Toya about my situation. Now I'm gonna run to Quad and tell her about what you said about her, and now we're 50-50." I can definitely see Heavenly doing that. So I just feel like Simone has no grounds in that sense if she's upset about, Heavenly running her mouth when she did the exact same thing about Heavenly's son. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Something also happened a little bit between Toya and Mimi, where like while Toya and Toya's clique were talking, Mimi was there, and Toya is like, "Why are you here? Like, you're not a part of our clique." And Mimi immediately took offense, like, "Oh, like okay, like I wasn't trying to join your clique, but like yeah, like I was just hearing what you guys were saying," and it was a very awkward interaction. And I'm just like, okay, Mimi is my girl, like I said in the beginning of the review, and everything, majority of the things that she says are on point. Where I draw the line and where I get confused with Mimi is when it's now time for you to say it to the person that you've been talking about. Like now, since that whole Toya's event where Toya kind of grouped her, Heavenly, Brandy, and the other ladies that she said were talking smack about her relationship, Mimi has looking not seen it for Toya since then. I would rather Mimi the things that she says in her confessionals about Toya, or the things that she says about Toya behind Toya's back, she says them to Toya's face. That's something that I feel like Mimi doesn't do. Mimi is very good at talking behind Toya's back, and when it's time for her to actually check Toya about the things that she's been saying or her feelings or emotions towards Toya, it's cricket. So it's like, oh, okay, like okay, I'm not even gonna get involved. Okay, it's like you have so much to say behind the scenes, good things to say. Like you're actually on point. You actually know what you're saying. I actually agree with you about the things you're saying about Toya. But when you're in front of Toya, you don't say these things. So that's the issue I have with Mimi. If you can say it behind her back, you can definitely say it in her front. And I hope that she gives it to Toya at some point during this season, because I don't like how she's not, saying things in front of Toya. It just kind of is giving, it's just kind of cowardly. And I would hope that she's not a coward. Like she can actually face Toya and all those type of things. But that's just my observation about Mimi. I love her, but I feel like she needs to be more vocal about the things that she says to the person. Like confront the person, don't do it behind their back. But that's all I have to say about Married to Medicine. Overall, it was an okay episode, but it wasn't like a fantastic episode. Let's see how things play out um with the season. Hey guys, so welcome to another subscriber shout out. Today I'll be shouting out Halo Treasures. It's basically a curated gift box business. Valentine gift boxes, birthday gift boxes, anniversary gift boxes. They are your go-to. They are based in Toronto. And yeah, they just, do different types of gift boxes depending on the services. So I will definitely link their Instagram on this video. Make sure to check them out if you're in the GTA or in Canada in general. And yeah, let's get back to the video. Okay, so now we're going to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion part 2 episode. Again, like I said, I don't understand why this reunion is a three-part reunion. So we're gonna be expecting one more episode to drop next week. I don't even know what they will talk about. Okay, no, I think they will talk about Brownwyn and her separation in that episode. I think they're going to talk about Lisa's relationship, how John had a lot to say and John looked checked out in this season. So I think they will touch on that. I don't know what else they're going to touch on in the last part because I feel like they've talked about everything else, but we'll see, Sha. But this episode was very interesting and very annoying at the same time. We have Angel versus Lisa. At the end of last episode, we see Angel bring this scroll that is supposed to be proof that Lisa is behind the troll account that has been trolling Angel for a while now and some of the ladies. So we open the scroll now in this episode, and I guess it shows some of the bad tweets that were said about Angie, and then is also now a screenshot of maybe when they were trying to like see which phone number or contact information was connected to the account. They try to like do a forget password thing, and when you say you forgot a password, they send a verification code to the email or the phone number attached to the account. So I think they did something like that, and they saw that it was Lisa's name that was connected to the account. I don't know how much I believe that. I don't think that Lisa is that stupid. If that was the case, like I don't. I just feel like that's just too good to be true. Like I don't know. Maybe you can say I'm trying to defend Lisa, whatever it is. I just don't think that that is true. I feel like that was probably a proof that was tampered with. I don't really believe it. But then again, I can't really deny it. So if it's a case of, oh, Lisa's number was actually attached to the account, that is definitely very questionable. But at the same time, if it's a case of, nope, that is just, I don't know, somebody just setting Lisa up again, which again, I wouldn't put past these ladies because they would do anything to take down Lisa. Um, yeah, that is also very tacky, and it was definitely a flop. Whether or not Lisa did it, Lisa shut that shit down real quick, and it's like you guys are just pulling things out of your ass at this point. But then they take a break, and Heather immediately is Lisa that she's talking about in the break room, and I'm just like, this chick literally, you live, breathe, and eat Lisa. You just want to wear her like this year's Versace. You want to wear her like, I don't know, a fur coat. You want to skin her at this point because what does she mean by? And then they were now talking about how the reunion has been going so far and how Meredith hasn't been coming to Lisa's defense since, how Meredith has just been quiet and not supporting Lisa. And I'm just like, are we in the Twilight Zone? Was it not you just now that was shouting at Meredith for doing tag team and being a group with Lisa and trying to come to Lisa's aid, or Lisa being a group with Meredith when they're asking Meredith questions like, how can you in one breath say, oh, you guys clearly came to get together today as a group, you came as an alliance, this is this, da da da, and then you are saying that Meredith is not speaking up for Lisa. You just said, and you just attacked Meredith and Lisa on stage about coming to each other's defense and speaking for each other in the freaking reunion. What are you talking about? You're contradicting yourself, and that's how I know that Heather is just pulling and grasping at straws at this point and trying to say anything that maybe to just try and stick something to Lisa and Meredith at this point because it doesn't make sense. You are not making sense right now. You just accuse them of being an alliance on stage, and now you're saying that, oh, they're not being an alliance in the reunion. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like Meredith has backed Lisa up just as much as Lisa has backed Meredith up in this reunion so far. And unless we're watching a different reunion, I just don't understand what you're trying to say. They've been helping each other so far, and that's been an issue for you. And now it's an issue again now that they're not helping each other, which is crazy because I feel like they seem very solid with each other. But yeah, I don't know. This is why I just don't like Heather because she says one thing and then she says another thing, and it's like so confusing, and people forget that she said something that contradicted like 10 minutes ago. I just don't like people like that. I just don't like people like that. But they come back to the stage after their break, and they're talking about other things again. They talk about Mary's church and how Mary feels about this whole cult allegation that has risen up again about her church, and she's like, it's lies, whatever. I personally don't think it's lies. First of all, these are not strangers that are talking about your cult. These are people that left your church, and not just people that left your church, but relatives that left your church. Your blood is talking about your church. So I don't think that that amount of people would just come, no risk, coming to the public eye to share these things, about you like that, and it's just false. I don't know. I just feel like there's still some truth to the things that they are saying, and it's just unfortunate that the fans, the Bravo fans of Mary, are choosing to turn a blind eye on the allegations of Mary that are being put out there just because, oh, she's a fan favorite, or just because, oh, they find her quirky, they find her funny, they find her this, they find her that. I have never really like in the early seasons, I definitely found Mary entertaining. But the more like I watch this show and the more I see Mary now, it's like I just feel like there's something off about her, and she's very also good at deflecting because there's so much happening in Mary's life that a lot of people give her a pass for. She married her step grandfather. All of a sudden now that isn't talked about anymore. She's accused of being a cult leader because she's such a star now. Nobody wants to talk about that in the housewife space. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, and I'm honestly over the pass that the ladies give Mary every time, the pass that production gives Mary every time, the pass that the network as a whole gives Mary a lot of times in this show. You talk about Mary, Mary's son being in jail and everything, and I just was very shocked to hear Mary say that it would be weird for her to visit her son in jail, because Andy asks her like, "Oh, have you gone to see him since he was detained?" And she's like, "No, that would be weird." And I'm like, "Huh? You made this whole your son's issues, whatever, the whole storyline for the past 2 seasons, and you're telling me that now that he's in jail, you've not seen him since? I think it's been like a month since he's been in jail, and he's going to be released in February. Not just her that hasn't seen himself, the father too hasn't seen him." And I'm just like, do you really care about your son the way you portray it on this show? Is that all just for a storyline? Because how can you not have seen your son that has been detained in prison all this while and then have the guts to say it would be weird for you to go? Is Mary okay? This is the person that you guys are rooting for. This chick is weird. And I feel like you guys need, like, a lot of the Bravo fans need to open their eyes and see that Mary is weird. Mary is quirky and funny sometimes, yes, but let's not excuse bad behavior and just give Mary a pass for everything. I just found it very interesting that Andy didn't even dwell much into it. Like, what do you mean by it's weird? Like, that's your son. Like, I don't know. I just found it very strange for her to say that. It's like it's one thing for you to have just said, "Oh, no, I haven't gone to see him. I just feel like he needs to learn, and this is the da da da. I've cuddled him. This is his soft hand, and now I want to give him a tight hand. I want him to see that he needs to pay for the repercussions of his actions. This is this. That mom is not always going to be there. Any other response, but that's weird. That's weird. That's weird. Like, literally had me screaming. I would never have expected her to respond like that, and I found that very strange. And I still find it very strange. But let me know what you guys think. At some point, Mary and Lisa get into it, and Mary calls Lisa dark. And this is the type of hypocrisy that I do not like. How can you call Lisa a dark person? Like, how is she dark? You are the one that is dark. You are the one that has the whole cloud of darkness around you. Like I said, you married your step grandfather. You're accused of being a cult leader. You are everything that she was accusing Lisa of being, aside from the materialistic part and delusional part. She literally said that Lisa is very negative. There's nobody as negative as Mary sitting on that couch. Mary is the most negative housewife I have ever seen in my life. They don't hold her accountable for it. She's the only person that can say the vilest of things and nobody holds her accountable for it. And that irks me so much. When I tell you, I was so pissed off how she was shredding Lisa there, and Lisa just sat down there. Why? Because the ladies, all of them give her a pass, even when she's wrong. What do you mean that Lisa is evil? Lisa has not done anything evil in that cast. and with that couch. The person that was an actual criminal has never been accused of being evil by any of you on that seat. What does Lisa do? She's materialistic and delusional and thinks she's better than you guys. Okay, she's full of herself. That doesn't mean she's evil. That doesn't mean she's dark. You being accused of being a cult leader is dark. Jen Shaw stealing from older people, the elderly, in a Ponzi scheme or whatever it was that she was doing is dark. Heather coughing up her black eye and making us think that production was involved or like something really bad and terrible happened to her, not knowing that it was literally the felon within them that caused her black eye. For a whole season she lied about that black eye when she knew who did it to her. That is dark. Whitney accusing somebody of being a pill popper and a drug addict is dark. Nothing that Meredith and Lisa have done so far made me to conclude that they are dark. Every other person seated on this couch has done something else to make me think that they're dark, except for Angie and Brownwell. So why is this double standard or this like crazy accusations always made concerning Meredith and Lisa? It's very weird. It's very weird. And I found it very weird that it was coming from, of all people, Mary. You calling somebody dark? Calling someone evil? Please. Anyways, the final thing that they touch on in this episode is the plane incident, and they are questioning Meredith, and Meredith is giving her own account of things. The ladies are saying that that's not how things necessarily played out. There is a disconnect between everybody's memory of what happened on that plane. Two things can be right, and I feel like two things can be right, and I feel like this is always why I would be on Meredith's side. Meredith has never denied that she wasn't upset on that plane, that she didn't react on that plane, she wasn't screaming or talking to Lisa in a heightened manner on that plane. She has never denied that. I just feel like she denies what the extent at which she was upset, the way the ladies are portraying it. That is what she is not in agreement with. She agrees that yes, she was heated and upset in that plane ride, but the ladies have exaggerated these things to the point of now accusing her of, being unhappy in her marriage, having a drinking problem, having a drug problem, and that is where the disconnect is. And I'm Team Lisa, I'm Team Meredith on this one. I do not think that whatever it is that these ladies are accusing, however it was, the level at which these ladies are accusing her of doing this thing was the way it happened. I don't believe it. Coming from somebody that lied about her black eye for 1 year, I would never believe anything that Heather says. Mind you, Heather was presumably asleep during this trip, this plane ride. Mary that says, oh, she heard things and everything. Mary was far away from them. She couldn't have heard anything like that the way she's saying she did. So I just feel like everyone is lying, and this is really a systemic takedown of Meredith and Lisa. It's very calculated. So they're questioning Meredith, and I think at the end, Andy asks Meredith a question like, okay, before you got on the plane, did you actually have anything to drink? And Meredith deflects. She definitely deflects, but I feel like she deflects for a reason. If she answers that saying no, the ladies are going to say you are lying. If she answers that, yes, I had a few drinks, the ladies are going to say, exactly, we knew that you had a few drinks, so this is why we're saying this. Like, I just feel like no matter how Meredith would have answered, it would have still been a problem with the ladies. And I think Meredith knew that, so she's like, let's pause on that for now. Let's talk about the real issue behind, my issue with Brittany, even way before everything that has transpired before she even came for me, type of thing. So Meredith lets it be known that there was a specific stylist that she was using at some point, that apparently it came out that the person was anti-Semitic. And while that thing was very hot, while that whole situation was very blown out and everyone knew about it in Utah or wherever it happened, this person reached out to Brittany And Brittany actually gave like a big whole testimonial of this person as a individual, as a worker, whatever it was, said very good things about this person in support of this person. And Meredith does not believe that Brittany did not know about this whole allegation and everything that was going on with this person for Brittany to not have given this testimonial. She feels like this testimonial was very much calculated and very much um, done to help this person's image after what had happened. Now Brittany is saying that she had no idea about this thing happening. She didn't know that this was happening with this person. She just knew this person as a nail tech. She knew that this person worked hairdresser. I can't remember what skill or craft the person does now, but she knew this person as whatever it was that they did for Meredith. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I see this thing that you do for Meredith. It looks nice. Could you do this for me? Be my own stylist as well. And the person was her own stylist. So randomly, the person reaches out like, hey, I just need you to give a good word for me for my work ethic. Could you do that for me? And Brittany is like, oh, that is why I did this for this person. We, the viewers, again, a lot of things, and this is what I hate, a lot of the drama that has occurred in Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this season has been behind the cameras, behind the scenes. So we, the viewers, can have a clear judgment of what exactly has happened in these situations. From the plane ride, there is no evidence for us to see and say, oh, this person is lying, oh, this person is putting 20 on 10. Like, we can't say it accurately and say, like, oh, this is what it was. Same thing for this whole situation now that Meredith has brought to our attention. And I just hate that because this is supposed to be a reality show. And we, the viewers, are supposed to be brought into this reality of things that are happening with you guys. And we can't really have an opinion or have a side, a clear side on these things when we don't have actual evidence backing these things. So we are only taking the words of Meredith and Brittany, and we're also judging things based off what we've seen about the personalities of these people. And for me, based on the personalities that I have seen for both people, I don't think that Brittany was as clueless as she's trying to make it seem like she was in this situation. It seems like this was such a very popular situation or case that was, circling around at that time. And for you to claim ignorance that you didn't know that this was happening and just chose, oh, from the kindness of your heart, because this person asked for a review, to give this elaborate review about them, I do not think that Brittany is as innocent as she is making it seem like. I don't. And that's just me personally, because I have seen how both people operate. I don't. We all know that Meredith is a Jew. She's Jewish, and it's not too far fetched to think of the possibility of this happening. And we've seen Brittany also, even with her whole parenting, like how she handles her parenting, how she doesn't really see the wrong that she has low-key done in the life of her child or her daughter and everything. She still is yet to take full accountability to the level that we know is real. Like, I feel like every interaction that we've seen with Brittany, with her daughter, it just seems like Brittany is detached. Like, she doesn't really understand where these emotions are coming from with her daughter. And how can you say that when it's so clear that you were a deadbeat? Like, how can you not see that you were a deadbeat mother and you did not do well for your kids? Like, it just seems like she doesn't get the gravity of her actions. And I'm just trying, based off that knowledge and things I have seen play out with that situation, I am taking that view of how I perceive her in that situation to this situation now and saying that she may have done this but doesn't realize the gravity of what she has done. And now she's claiming ignorance, claiming cluelessness, and all of a sudden is the victim again. So that is my own perception of this situation. I can't really I can't really I can't really make a clear judgment, fair judgment. I can only go based off the individuals that have said their personalities and just judge on that, unfortunately. And I do not think that Meredith is lying about that whole situation. I don't really believe Brittany, but then again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And if something else comes out that says I'm wrong, I would own that I am wrong about my own judgment of things. I would definitely. But in this moment, I definitely feel like there is some truth to what Meredith is saying. And it also makes sense why Meredith and her didn't get along very well in this season, in my opinion. I know that there are a lot of people that are like, oh, for Meredith to make this a whole racial issue and all that is very wrong, and she drew a line and all that. But if that is her truth, then that is her truth. We can't do anything about that. So yeah, I do know that they did say that, after that whole situation happened, I guess there was a meetup again that happened off camera. I don't know why they keep meeting up and doing things off camera, but there was a meetup, and Brittany says she apologized tremendously to Meredith. Meredith says the apology was again a victimized apology, like it didn't seem sincere. It just felt like a show, like she just felt like Brittany now made herself the victim in that situation, in that conversation, just like how she's making herself a victim in this conversation. Ultimately, it ends up with Brittany walking off stage, and that was now the end of the episode. Yeah, definitely didn't expect that to be dropped. I didn't expect that bomb in the reunion. I didn't, of all the things I could have expected happened with the two of them, whether off camera, on camera. That one was a lot to take in, and I think that was a lot for the other viewers to take in as well. A lot of people are divided on their opinion on this. I would hope that it's not the case, like that Britney was clueless, but then I do not believe that Britney was clueless about the whole situation. No, I don't. I don't believe that she was clueless. I think Britney claims ignorance and cluelessness when it benefits her and to get out of things. And we've seen that play out even with her relationship with her daughter. So it's not too far fetched for her to do the same thing here and try and manipulate the situation here and trying to be the victim here. Yeah, that's just my own opinion on that. I know that a lot of people would agree with me on that, and that's okay. But that's my thoughts on that. But that's the end of this video. This was a very long review. I've been making a lot of long videos now, like very long, like 1 hour long, and I do hope that they do well. Yeah, and I hope to be consistent as well with it. I'm going to try my best to be making at least one long form content per week, and that would just be me talking about all the reality shows that I watch in a week, the episodes and all that, regrouping, recentering, and discussing it with you guys and getting you guys opinions as well. And I hope you guys enjoy my analysis of things. Well, hope to see you guys in my next one. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, take care.